Mikel, before we talk about the game, whilst I remember, I must ask about Bukayo Saka. What's the news on him?
We don't know yet. So he had a little niggle in the warm-up, and he wasn't comfortable to start the game, so we have to make that change straight away with Noni.
And, goodness me, he took his chance.
He did, and that's why we have to be ready, because football is so unpredictable, and you have to be thrown out there when you less expect it, and he certainly reacted really well.
I just put it to Noni that it was probably the perfect away day for Arsenal. Would you agree with that? Do you think that's as good as it could get away from home?
Well, to win 0-4 here, it's very, very difficult. Let's see when is the next time that this happens. So, big credit to the boys. Obviously, we had a few games without a win in the Premier League. We had a great win a few days ago in the Champions League to close that phase. And in 3 days we have a semi-final. And if we win, we're in Wembley.
A big win in terms of scoreline, but is it more a big win in terms of the points you've just made? You needed it today.
Yeah, I think the team showed a real dominance, resilience, character, and then obviously quality. So when we had the moments to punish them, we certainly did that. And everybody, the starters, the finishers, I really like the attitude of the team.
Thanks, Mikel.
League. So some fascinating stories developing already, but let's start with Leeds and Arsenal, which was the subject of so much of our build-up. And we built it up, I was particularly responsible, building it up, saying, look, it's a bear pit. There weren't many bears in evidence at Elland Road today, and Arsenal cruised it in the end.
Yeah, that's a kind of a bounce-back performance that Mikel had been wanting, and also the big senior players in the dressing room. To look round after a result like that, when everybody was, and every neutral was hoping they'd trip up and there would be another crisis at Arsenal. I think they really stood together, and I thought the performance was brilliant. Back to their sharpness, their pressing was good. Defensively, they were impeccable. Very disappointed with Leeds. I think over the weeks we've seen them pick up a little bit, and when you go against the top teams, sometimes if you're not quite on it, or they're a little bit better, you can just kind of lose your footing. That's what it felt like today. I think they'll be fine. But ultimately, they just fell a little bit short today, and Arsenal took full control of the game.
What I liked about the Arsenal performance is that they're accused of being quite robotic in the way that they play. We talk about their set pieces, we speak about own goals being equals top scorer. I think the fact that they had to improvise in terms of Saka not starting the game, Madueke came on, you couldn't plan for that. They adapted, they had to make that change, and Madueke was man of the match. So it just goes, hopefully it's a good thing for Mikel Arteta and the team to look at and say, yes, you've got to prepare really well, but you can't prepare beyond what is sensible. Things happen in games. And what I liked about Arsenal was once they were comfortable, they didn't switch off. They didn't show any of that carelessness we've seen in the last couple of weeks. They kept the pressure on. They kept going. They looked like they were going to try and score another goal after the third, another one after the fourth. And I think that momentum that they had through that game, it reminds me of that Villa game that I mentioned before, which was a real, they really took, as you said before, taking the handbrake off. They really did that against Villa. It's again, they've done that again today, which is really good.
I just didn't feel that Leeds caused them enough problems. Man United caused them problems the other day. They were solid in front of them, didn't let them get through the lines, and then they broke on them really well. Leeds, loads of effort, but just a kind of the pattern of play that wasn't quite there. They changed it in the second half, went to a back four, and they were a little bit better second half. They put a bit more pressure on, but the quality in the end, especially the goals, was absolutely the top class from Arsenal.
We talked about marching on together, didn't we? The famous Leeds anthem, and it was Arsenal that marched on together today.
Yeah, and the reality is, from a Leeds perspective, they're newly promoted. They're having to try and bridge that gap between championship dominant football to survival mode. I think Daniel Farke and the team are doing a great job. They're in a really stable position. They've just got to move on from this game and get back to their standards.
Yeah, but encouragement for amongst others.
Noni, this could have been much tougher. A lot of people thought it would be, but that was assured, it was confident, it showed what self-belief you have.
Yeah, no, today we were excellent, to be fair, in all phases of play. Set pieces, in possession, out of possession, today was a top performance from us, and came here, we know it's a tough atmosphere, it's a tough ground. They're a tough team to play against. They've been in good form recently, but it was an amazing performance from us, and yeah, we deserved everything we got.
And you embraced your opportunity as well, because obviously with the injury to Bukayo, you didn't know you were going to be starting the game.
Yeah, no, just in the warm-up towards the end. But yeah, we're professionals, so we're prepared. And yeah, happy that we got the win, and yeah, was a good game from me.
But you yourself as well, with the numbers, I heard the supporters, they were to the right of me, they were just singing your name.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. That's obviously it means a lot to our team that they come over and so long from away from home, but they come and support, and we had them the whole 90 minutes, and it really pushed us on. So, yeah, they were top today.
What does this do for you as players? Because it's not just the players out on the pitch, is it? The 11 who play regularly. It's the squad, it's the balance, it's the mood.
Yeah, no, we've been fighting on all 4 fronts since the start of the season, so everyone knows they need to be ready. Everyone's contributing a lot, so yeah, I think it goes without saying that all the players are ready, and when they're called upon, try and do their best for the team.
Is it just about regulating? I talked about it pre-match to Declan Rice. Is it just about regulating the mindset?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think every single game or every few days you got to be ready to perform, because even if you don't play on a Wednesday, you might have to play on a Saturday, and then we got another game on Tuesday. So Champions League, all the cups. So it's just about staying locked in and staying in that zone that when you're called upon, you're ready to deliver.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
And he was called upon and he did deliver. First Premier League assist for Nani Madueke. Everyone talks about Arsenal's squad this season. Think about the difference last term when Bukayo Saka was injured. Now they've got Nani Madueke to come in and help create that first goal.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant today. He really was. Really direct. You know, no one wants to see people get injured, but you've got plenty of backup. And this first goal here, you know, just recycled it. Declan Rice out to the left-hand side. He does so well here to get half a yard. He just commits, he's very dangerous, and this ball is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Really, really hard one, Gary tell you, to defend that with the way it went in. And Zubamendi on the end of it was an excellent header, it really was.
Just looking at it from a defensive point of view, you just see Gruev then. I think he looks, you can see he's took a look, and he just needs to drop in. I think he needs to react once he's seen it, fill that space, which ultimately is left. You know, and if Zubamendi didn't score, I'm sure Kai Havertz was going to. So, yeah, just drop in that front post space, and then maybe you'll be able to clear it out. But it's a great head-in, it's a great ball, and a great start for Arsenal.
Yeah, Ray said difficult to defend against. Why? That kind of cross.
Because the header doesn't. The pace is on the ball, so he just needs to glide it in, to glance it in. And from a defensive point of view, it's easier to defend if you're in the right position. And that's what I was saying. I don't think he was in the right position. If somebody's in that front space area, you can come and attack it. But it's difficult when players are running across you, and all they need is that little glance because the pace is already on the ball.
They were disappointed with the defending at that goal. It would be even worse for the second one, which is an own goal by the goalkeeper, Darlow. Let's take a look at this moment. And Gary, we can stick with you. You can tell us everything that's gone wrong from a Leeds perspective.
Oh, again, another set piece from Arsenal. They're so strong. I just feel that the goalkeeper, Darlow, has got to do better. I think with the flight of the ball, he needs to read the flight of the ball and just come and take it. Be dominant, come and collect it, scream his head off, let the defenders know that he's there, and just deal with the situation. I mean, the second phase of this is Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, there's a striker in that position. He's not a natural defender. Get your head on the ball if you can and have the argument after. But ultimately, for me, the keeper will be disappointed, I'm sure. He just needs to read the flight of the ball and come and collect that.
But for Arsenal, own goals at it again.
Yes, absolutely. And it was a brilliant ball in, though, it really was. You know, the way he whips it into that front post, it's difficult to defend. But he's got to take out his defender as well there. He's got to get something on that. And it was a poor goal to give away. But Arsenal take it and move on. And, you know, 2-0 half-time, they're pretty happy how that first half went.
Well, into the second half then, and Gyökeres makes it 3-0. A great ball from Martinelli, who came on and got involved in the action.
Well, that's the difference. I was talking to Gary earlier. I mean, the bench, you know, other guys come on as well, and Martinelli got so many options. He does so well there, just to get that little toe on it, to keep it in, and then he whips it back on his left foot. And to be fair, Gyökeres, he's had his critics, but he made a really good run here to get across to Bogle.
I just think from a defensive point of view, Goodmanson, I think he just needs to hold his position. I think he's edging to come out to Timber, isn't he? If he just stays in position, I think the more dangerous ball that's going to hurt you is through the middle. Stay in position, let that ball go to Timber, and then you can come across and the defenders can slide across. He goes early and leaves that space, but the delivery is great, and Bogle just gets the wrong side.
It's just that split-second movement.
It is, yeah, you can see it.
He's in front of him now, and he does well there, to be fair. It looks like he's been pulled a little bit, but he gets a volley on it and into the back of the net. And that was a big goal for Arsenal, because at that time, Leeds were really pushing to get back into the game, and the crowd were really responding to the Leeds dominance. But that third goal really killed the game off.
Yeah, period of dominance for Leeds. Arsenal managing to get onto the score sheet through Gyökeres, who is in a two-horse race with own goals for the Arsenal Golden Boot as it stands. He's leading the way, though. It was a 4th goal in 6 games in all competitions. Very big for his confidence. He has cut quite a controversial figure. People still can't quite figure out, you know, what they make of him at Arsenal this season.
Yeah, he's still got a bit to do there, and I think it's key what you said. We said off air, didn't we? I think confidence is key for him. And you're going to get confidence as a striker by playing well and scoring goals, and that'll do him the world of good today. Like Ray said, it's just the reaction. That reaction in the box, split second, gets in front of his defender and puts it.
7 in the corners column for Arsenal in the first half. That's the most, Ray, they've managed so far this season, and they've caused danger from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, but that's maybe why Havertz has come in as well, because he's another big guy coming up from the back with Saliba and obviously Gabriel. But they really do practice a lot on corners, and we've seen the success they've had, especially this season, and it's worked out again. But it's all about the delivery, always. When that ball goes on that corner, you've got Saka if he's playing. Obviously, Madueke's took over. And Declan Rice can really whip a good ball in as well from that right-hand side. Yeah,
Madueke called on late because of Saka's injury, and he's had a big impact in this game so far.
Yeah, he's meant to obviously start on the bench, and he's had a huge impact in this game. Like Ray said, the delivery was key from the set piece, and then obviously from the cross for the first goal. Big impact on the game, but they're heavily reliant on set pieces again, Arsenal, but they do them well, don't they? I mean, this is a second phase from a great delivery of the corner, comes out to Noni. Does what he does best, you know, goes to commit the defender, gets half a yard and whips a great ball in. It's a fantastic ball in and a great header by Zubamendi.
Ray?
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. You can see he's just that defending. He won't be too happy, Daniel Farker, with the defending from the Leeds players, but there's 2 of them lining up here. Zubamendi just gets in front of Havertz. Looks like Havertz is going to nod it in as well. So, but it's a great ball in from Madueke. It really is. It's a really difficult one to mark, but it's a brilliant header as well from Zubamendi, who'd be over the moon because of his mistake last week.
Yeah, from a defensive perspective, though?
Yeah, I think when you just see it highlight there and you see Gravy, he's looked, but he's not reacted, which is a disappointing thing because he's looked and seen. I think if he drops in 2 or 3 yards there, he maybe fills that space where ultimately they got punished.
Zubamendi, 5 goals in all competitions for Arsenal. It's his highest goal-scoring season in his career.
Oh, he's done brilliant. He really has. He's been one of the signings of the summer, definitely, because he come in, he's a very efficient player. He made a bad mistake last week, but that won't let it affect him, and he'd be delighted that he's on the score sheet. And he scored some cracking goals as well this season, so he'd be delighted. But that's why the midfield work. If he gets forward, Declan Rice can fill in for him. And that's what you've got to do in midfield. But he's been a brilliant signing, he really has.
Yeah, given the way it's been going, you said that first goal would be really important. They got it early on and then managed to double the lead. That caused havoc at corners. It happened again.
Here we go again. Yeah, the delivery again. They commit players at the way they start off on the back, heavy on the back you can see here, and just make the run across and just to disrupt players. I think for me, the goalkeeper's got to do better. I think he's just got to see the flight of that ball and just come and take it, come and collect it, whether he screams his head off, lets the defenders know that he's there, and just come and take that out of the sky. I think he'll be disappointed with this. He goes to punch it straight into his goal, ultimately. Needs to be more commanding.
I think Leeds overall will be very disappointed, given that there weren't many Arsenal players in and around that area.
No, not at all. And look, it's just communication a little bit, maybe, as well. But it's an awful goal to give away, it really is, from Leeds' point of view. But Arsenal will take it, and again, another good set play.
Yeah, that means that level at the top of the goal-scoring charts for Arsenal, alongside Trossard and Gyökeres, is own goals.
That's amazing.
Signing of the summer.
Is. No, it's amazing to see that the top goal scorer alongside Trossard and Gyökeres, his own goals. Well, just shows you, doesn't it? It's a funny old game sometimes.
It certainly is. 7 points clear as it stands. Did you want to add?
No, I was just going to say what we said from the start, didn't we? It doesn't matter how they win this game. It's just winning this game. And they took a great step towards doing that in the first half with set pieces.
Yeah, it is certainly halfway there, though. Let's move on to action elsewhere around